Hey guys, so the Partscaster is finished. Woohoo! Look at this thing. So, last time I showed this to you, I think it was just a body and a neck and the tuning heads, and that's not really much of a guitar. It's a start, but it's not really much. The tremolo actually came the very next day, but I figured I would wait until the rest of it came to actually show you what it sounded like and play it for you a little bit. So I waited. This is a Wilkinson tremolo, and it is much better than the stock hardware that came with this thing. The Squier trem, every time I hit it, I would have to retune instantly because it would just throw everything off. It was terrible. This thing, I've done a bunch of dive bombs with it, and the intonation is fine. So really impressed with this setup. I've got the springs going parallel. Some people like to do it with these two in a little bit more, so it looks like a V configuration. This works fine. You know, I think it's a matter of personal preference, which is like most things with a guitar. It's all a matter of personal preference. This is the pre-wired EMG pick guard. I think they call it this entire system the ST11. So if you go on the website, you can just buy it through them. It's all passive. These are all single coil passive pickups. I think they're the SG series. So they put Stargates on your guitar. It's really easy to install. I don't know how to solder anything, so I wanted a system that I could easily install, and if I wanted to upgrade the pickups, you can just buy new ones off of the EMG site and stick them in. Or if there are other solderless systems, I think Seymour Duncan has solderless pickups. And I think they actually have connections that are compatible with this system, so you can swap those out and put them in. Or if you really want to solder, I think you can actually still solder onto the heads of where the pots are and all that kind of stuff. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. Very easy to install. If there's a place for 2 ground wires. So if you see on the trem claw, I actually purchased this with the ground wire pre-installed, so that was nice. You just run it through and you screw it into the pot where it has the space for the 2 ground wires. I only have 1 ground going in here. I think if I shielded the cavity with the copper tape and put in a second ground wire, you'd hear less of a hum when you plug it into the amp. Right now, it's very apparent that this is a single coil guitar. When you turn on the amp, you can hear that. But it's not as bad as what I remember the original hardware being. Like, the original pickups would pick up radio signals from the next door neighbor, which is really weird. It's very strange hearing Kokomo coming out of your amp when you haven't done anything. So these are not that fucking loud. So, you know, you can still tell you're playing a single coil guitar that has hum, but whatever. It sounds great. And when you're playing it, you don't really notice it. So, speaking of playing, I recorded a separate demo, so I'll play that now and then give you my thoughts on the guitar afterwards. All right, here goes. right, so overall, I think it has a nice stratty tone. It sounds like a Strat would. Maybe not like an American Standard or something like that, or one of the high-end Strats, but it's certainly better sounding than what I remember the Squire being. So this is a nice like midway in between like a beginner guitar and like your fancy custom, $2,000-$3,000 guitar. This is a nice midway thing. Plus it has my artwork on it, which you can't get from Fender, unfortunately. I would gladly paint guitars for Fender. Anyway, I think I will sell this. I'm not sure. I have to talk to a friend of mine, and we'll work out the price and how much it's going to be. But if you're going to Kineticon, you can find this at the Morlock booth. And if it's not there, it means that I wasn't able to package it up properly and get it to him. But if it's not at Kineticon, it's certainly going to be at DragonCon at the Morlock booth. So you'll see some of my toys there and some of the new products that I've been working with Jim to get out, plus this guitar. So we'll have a price figured out and all that kind of stuff. So if this doesn't make it to Kineticon, it will certainly be at DragonCon. So, all right. Well, thank you for checking it out. And I think if you want to build your own guitar, it's fairly straightforward to do. Just buy a bunch of parts and stick them together. If you want to get more complicated, there's certainly tutorials out there and stuff. But like for someone who isn't good with electronics or doesn't know anything about wiring, I was able to put this thing together. So I'm pretty sure, if you're a little bit more sophisticated with electronics or woodworking, you can probably come up with something really awesome. You don't have to go to the store and buy something. You can make something custom yourself for not a whole lot of money. You don't have to spend $10,000 to get a private stock PRS thing, although it would be really awesome to get a private stock PRS guitar. Anyway, I'm going to stop now because I could go on forever about this, but thanks for checking it out. All right, check you later.